Hi, this is Juniva, 3D artist and illustrator. This is my little drawing, a cat bird. I made this 2D into 3D character. Today I'm going to show you my work process to create this baby bird in Nomad. This entire work process is a bit lengthy, so I had to divide this tutorial into 3 different parts. The first and second part is about modeling. The third part will cover coloring, shading, lighting, and rendering. I'll go over the most of the basic and essential tools in Nomad, from modeling to rendering through making this a little 3D character. This time I have created this tutorial at a slower pace so you can practice your sculpting while watching this video. Now let's get into it. Before sculpting, we need to get some modeling set up in Nomad. It's not absolutely necessary, but I found that it's more comfortable when doing some modeling work in Nomad. First, let's set up the background color. Go to the picture icon in the top menu. If you are on colors, you can add some colors on background. So I'll switch the background from colors to environment. Let me turn on reference image here. I select the 3D image I created in Nomad previously, and now shading options. Let's go to the shading icon. We are setting it matte cap, which is suitable for modeling. Now we are ready for modeling. First of all, let's create a sphere. This will be a body part. I will use the gizmo tool to adjust the shape to resemble an egg, because this guy's silhouette is similar to more like an egg. This is the character's largest shape, and I will rename this object to body. Now we are going to add ears. And let me tell you what I usually do before working a character. I usually start by envisioning the basic shape, much like when we draw something. Identify the largest shape first, and then work on the smaller parts. This way helps so much to understand the proportions of the character first. The modeling is often easier when you break it down into components. I'm starting with the sphere again. I've locked the view in place so it won't move around while I work. Now we are shaping this to look like cat ears. I'm selecting the trim tool on the right side. Additional options for the trim tool appear on the left. I select the rectangular icon and drag it to cut off the object on the left and bottom of it. I'm moving the camera view to the front, and you will see that the object has been nicely cut. Now, I'm positioning these objects onto the body to move around them to find the right position, considering the size and angle. Now, I want to add a bit of sharpness to the tips of the ears. So I use the move tool and ensure that the ears are selected, with symmetry turned on. I'm dragging the tip of the ear upward. Just a little bit should be enough. For better control, I'm reducing the brush size using the upper yellow slide bar. I want these ears to be more open to the side to make them look cute. Let me name these 2 ears. Now we are adding arms as another base shape this time. I'm creating a sphere to use for the arms. Move this sphere above this point. Adjust this shape to resemble the bird arms or wings. Let's also check the shape from the side view. It seems too big compared to the body, so I'm making it smaller. From the front view, I've locked this view for safety. Shape these arms and move them to the side of the body. I think it would be better to rotate them after finding the right position. It's okay to overlap 2 objects with each other because we are going to join all the body objects together later. Now we are validating them so we can work simple sculpting. I am selecting the move tool. I'm dragging the tip of the hand area to make it sharper, directing it toward the front, and slightly bend the arm. Check the shape of the arms. We'll be cutting off the bottom of the body later, so we can ignore it for now. the arm looks a bit stiff around the shoulder, I'm going to use the Move tool to use a slight curve. The Move tool is quite handy for creating delicate poses like the tips of the arms. I think the main body shape is too elongated, so I'm making it a bit chubbier because it looks cute, and move the arms up a little. Now I'm naming these as arms. Here I start on the tail now. I'm adding a spear object and elongate it. Let's see it from the side view and place this tail on the back side of the body. I'm about to trim the bottom of the body, including the tail, and I believe we need some guidance. So let me add a plane for a guide. Because the plane is very thin line, it's difficult to see from the side or front view. So I'm adjusting the camera view, and now it's easier to see the plane. To move the plane to the desired bottom line, I just realized the tail is on the front side, so I am moving it to the back. Check the line to see how much you want to trim off. I want to place this guide plane a bit lower to make the body longer. Naming this object as tail. Now I'm moving on to create the feet. I'm adding a spear with mirror on. So we have another one on the other side. I'm positioning this spear side by side. It's easier to see the feet from the top view. And let me lock this view. I'm adjusting the size and shape and positioning the feet. Let me open the feet wider. And move them down a little bit to align with the guide plane. I want these ears to be slightly angled downward and toward the face. To move them a bit closer to the face, the front and the side view. This is a good time to check the proportion of this character again, thinking about the overall shape and silhouette too. Now naming this as the feet. Let's hide this guide plane. Now we are going to combine the body object, which is brown color in the reference. I'm selecting the body, ears, arms, and tail, which all use the same material and color. Then click the join icon, which allows us to combine the selected objects. This will combine them into one object with the name of the last selected object. Now as you can see, so this is a one object including the ears, arms, and tail. It's currently named tail, so let's change it to body to avoid confusion later. I'm enabling wireframe mode from the bottom menu. I'm going to hide fit to focus on the body for now. And locking the camera view from the side, I'm searching for the trim tool in the right side menu. I choose the rectangle button and drag it over the area I want to remove from the object. When you use the trim tool, you might find it a bit cumbersome. And if you don't like the result, you can always revert the previous version using the undo button located at the bottom of the menu. And now we are going to work with topology using Voxel Remesh. Click this resolution icon at the top and open the menu. The Voxel Remesh is a common 3D sculpting workflow, especially useful for combined objects as it provides uniform resolution for a single object. Now click the Remesh button. Now you can see that the wire on the surface has been altered, but the edges appear rough. Let's smoothing the rough area. If the brush is too small, you can make the brush bigger using the yellow slide bar on the left when you're using a smooth tool. You can turn on symmetry so it applies to both sides simultaneously. I'm using maximum intensity, but if you find it too strong, especially the bottom edge, otherwise it appears as if the body and tail continue under the ground. If you are doing intensive brush sculpting, it's a good practice to voxel remesh from time to time, especially when you notice the mesh is stretching to prevent excessive distortion. Let's turn on visibility for the feet and see how they fit together. And now it's a good time to combine the feet as well. And make sure validate the object. We are going to combine the feet object, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose right now, and join them together. I also performed voxel remeshing, but it is not necessarily because it is a separated object anyway. Now go to the side view and lock it. I'm going to use the trim tool to remove the bottom of the fit object. And matching it to be the same as the body. Use the mask tool to draw a face mask. Invert the mask area. I'm flattening the face a bit because the surface is too round. When viewed from the side, it is better to have it flat to add details like eyeballs. It's not too obvious, but rather subtle, so it's better to tilt the camera view slightly to the side. This way, you can see the changes more clearly when you brush on the face. You can see the area where the flattened brush was applied. It might appear slightly concave, but it's okay. Now I'm smoothing that out. Remove the mask and smooth the surface and the edges of the face area. It's time to create the eyeball socket area, where the eyeballs will be placed. I'm going to create a circle for the eyeballs. Brush the unmasked area. I just noticed that the sub option was turned off. We need to select the sub option to sculpt inward. I'm clearing the mask for that area. Use the smooth tool to soften the edges. Now we are creating a spear for eyeballs. Then make sure the symmetry option is on for the other side of the eyeball. Adjust the scale and the position with the gizmo tool to find the right placement in the eye socket. It is easier to find the right position for the eyeball from the side view. It is a good idea to check how the eyes looks with the body from the side view. I'm adjusting the size and positioning to fit within the eye socket, checking if the alignment with the edges is about right. We don't have an eyelid in the reference image. I didn't design eyelid for this character, but if you want to add them, go for it. If you have any idea, anything you think the character can be improved with eyelid, eyebrows, or any other details, you can add more. This is the creative freedom you have. I'm duplicating an eyeball. We are creating an iris, which is the black part of the eye. The reason I separate them is simply easy to control over coloring and shading. But when we color the darker parts, we can select the black and apply the color to the iris object. Also, it is easy to control the position of the iris. This makes so convenient to make facial expression with the eye direction. Let's create eye lines around the eyeballs. These details might small, but when combined with colors, they make a huge difference in creating clear facial expressions for the character. We will see the result when we apply the colors later. I'm fine-tuning the size and thickness, considering how much thickness should be exposed. I'm naming the object. This is the end of the part 1. The modeling part 2 will be continued in the next video. I hope this video is helpful for you to understand the modeling process in Nomad Sculpt. Hope you enjoy sculpting with me. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video, part 2.